Okay, so I want to talk about the hole wizard that we have as a tool in SolidWorks. And it's pretty handy for not having to go to Machinery's Handbook and look up data on hole diameters and figure out what needs to work to tap a hole, etc. So let's show you that and get you up to speed here. So you can see a theme here. We're making blocks. I just have something to work with here. Let's make that 2 inches there, and maybe we'll make it a 2 by 3 or something. And let's go ahead and extrude that. Maybe it's a 1/4 inch. So I have a piece of steel. Okay. So let's say we want to drill and tap a hole in this block. What I could do is say, okay, I could do extruded cut. I could come in here and put my sketch circle on here, and then I could go to my Machinery's Handbook and say, well, I've got a, let's say we're doing a 632 tap. So we want to make a hole that is for a 632 tap, so that we can thread that at 632, size 6 at 32 threads per inch. But I'd have to go look all that information on what the nominal diameter is for a 632 hole. And I'd have to look that up, and I don't know exactly what it is right now off the top of my head, but that would be the workflow. And then I could go in and maybe make a extruded cut and run that through all, and maybe we're just drilling and tapping to put a fastener in there. Well, the hole wizard allows me to take a sketch point and use that as my center location for where I want this hole, and then the wizard will actually help me to configure that hole exactly what I'm looking for in terms of diameter, for what type of drill size to make it correct for a tapping a hole. So the first thing I'm going to do is get into a sketch on this top surface, and I'm just going to put a point to where I want this hole. Maybe we need to dimension that point. Maybe I know that that hole is going to be a certain dimensions, but however you want to control that. Okay, so we know we want a hole right here in the center, in this point location. So let's fire up the hole wizard. We just click on hole wizard. And we get lots of options. So we have several flavors for hole type. Like I could do a counterbore, a countersink, a hole. I could come in with a straight tap, which is maybe what we're going to work with here. Taper tap, and on to control. I could do a slot even. So let's look at a tap hole. So I click on a tap, and we want to do a 632. So coming down. So SolidWorks, the hole wizard has dialed in all of the data for making a correct 632 tap hole. So remember, we're doing a straight tap. And I have some options, thread callout, thread class. I could control that. I could add the countersinks in if I wanted to. I could do a cosmetic or just the standard tap drill diameter, or removing the thread. It's actually not going to put the threads in here until maybe as we do the drawing print. We could show some of that as needed, or we could just show it as cosmetic. So drill tap diameter. So let's go ahead and go to positions. So I'm using this other tab. And at this point, it's looking for either I could do a 3D sketch, which we'll talk more about in the advanced class what a 3D sketch is. But for now, I've taught you how to do a hole position there. And so notice it kind of starts pulling out basically my hole. So I'm going to go ahead and snap right to that point and put my hole there and OK that. And it's nothing too exciting, but it is going to tell me that when I make my drawing, it's actually going to do all the callouts for a 632 tapped hole. It's telling me it knows that's what it is. So let's do another one. I'm going to go ahead and do another sketch. We'll pop in another hole location here. I'm not going to dimension the location of that one, but let's fire up the hole wizard. That's just in my main menu here. And let's do a through-hole countersink. And let's do another, well, let's make it a bigger, let's do a number 10 machine screw. So this is basically to allow me to put in a machine screw, and maybe there would be a nut on the other side that I'd lock it in place. I could do normal, close, or loose fit. I thought I did number 10. We could do a quarter inch or number. I'm going to do a number 10 screw. We could do far side countersink, head clearance, and let's go to positions. And let's activate my sketch, and I will grab that point location, and basically we're done. And we've got a countersink flathead machine screw. Now, if I didn't like that, I said, well, my design, I wanted to do something different. I want to do a smaller hole, significantly smaller, maybe back down to a 6. It's just a matter of changing that. And the neat thing is when we do our drawing, it'll allow me to grab the callouts for this entire flathead countersink and not have to worry about detailing it in when I do my drawing. Okay, so again, the workflow is grab your hole wizard, configure it the way you wanted, hit that 3D sketch thing, select the point that you've pre-created or make one on the fly, which is also possible. I like to make my point beforehand just so I know where it is and have it configured. And then drag your hole in there and you got it. Okay, thanks for watching.